Yo, what's going on everyone? Guiding Light here, and in this one, I'm going to bring you guys a full walkthrough of the mission Charge. Now, this mission was extremely long and honestly quite difficult and annoying, at least for me. I was playing solo legendary, and with the new light level, pretty under level. So, the main reason I'm going to be commentating through most of this video is because it was extremely difficult, at least for me, and I ran into a bunch of roadblocks that I want to try to explain in case maybe you guys are stuck on parts of this as well. So to get started, you will have to activate these two pylons. So I'm going to skip past most of the fighting. I'm going to try and make this video as quick as I can and only include what you really need, but there's just a lot to go into here. So the first room, there's going to be a ton of enemies, and I will skip most of the fights, but this first fight is a little bit important because there's so many things you have to do during the fight. So you have to charge up these two pylons in order to get past this room. You'll want to start by clearing out a few ads, and then whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and just activate the spark and start to activate the pylons as well. After you do this, you'll be able to move on to the next room, and I'll show you guys how to complete the puzzle in there.
Okay, I'm still getting unstable power readings. It's not enough to totally reboot the system. Open the switch once you're follow
Guardian, these words are not my own.
So there will be a bit of a jumping puzzle and a path to go through. Now in the next room, things get kind of wild. There's a crazy puzzle to complete, but I'm going to skip past most of the fighting. You're going to have to recharge two more pylons. However, there's a ton of enemies, so I'm going to clear them all out first, and then I'll explain exactly how to get through this puzzle. So now that the room is cleared out, you may have been looking around to try and find somewhere to activate the spark and then charge up these pylons. So very quickly, I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So the first one, interestingly enough, is up here in the air ducts. So I'll show you guys how you can activate this. Now there's probably an easier way to honestly get up here, but this is the way that I ended up taking. So if you hit L2 and X, at least on PlayStation, you can do this sort of high jump. And so you can kind of bounce off the wall and get up here into this corner. Now, I almost run out of time here because I was spending a lot of time searching around to try and find the actual route. But if you come in here, you do want to try and be a little bit quick with it. Come all the way through, and you're going to find yourself on these bars. Now, at first, I thought I'd be able to reach this other pylon that's on the other side of this gate from here. So I wasted a little bit of time there trying to spark it, but it would not let me. So what you want to do is just continue down this path, and at the very bottom, this is the pylon you'll want to charge up, and you'll see that I get it here at the very last second. But when my timer runs out, my character goes down. But luckily, I already had it. So now go back to the spark again. This one's actually a little bit easier. Right next to the spark, there's going to be another air duct tunnel, which will take you to the other pylon behind the gates. So simply follow this route and charge up this pylon, and you'll be about halfway done with the mission at this point. Now, after you do this, you'll have to return back to the reactor, which is sort of where we started the mission. So we're going to backtrack basically the entire way there. Now, it's a little bit easier to go and grab the spark again because you will need the spark in order to get back to where we were going, but I will take you back there either way. But as you notice, once we come back, you're going to have to go back through this tunnel, and in order to get through, you will need to get the spark out of the room.
God, I can Guardian. On Lodi, on Drifter, on me.
Now, once you make it back to the reactor, you will start a boss fight. Now, this is going to be an extremely long boss fight, and it does get a bit annoying at parts. So very quickly, I'm just going to clear out a lot of these ads. As you can see, we're going to be charging up 2 pylons again. So I'm going to show you guys how to get it done in this section of the map. All you do have to do, though, is clear out all of the enemies, and it will show you guys the locations of both pylons. So there's going to be a bunch of enemies, a brig that spawns in, a lot to deal with, but this is where the locations of the 2 charge points will be. Now, once you're done with this part, you can turn on the generator and get some extra loot, and be sure to apply any loot that you're getting if it's going to make you a higher level, because the missions definitely do get a lot tougher. So there will be a bit of a jumping puzzle to get to the next section of the mission, so very quickly I'll just take you guys through it. Now, once you guys are through this portion, there's going to be a lot of enemies to take out. You're going to want to take out a good majority of them, and then there's going to be another puzzle. So very quickly, I'll walk you guys through how to complete this next section's puzzle. So there's going to be 2 more pylons to charge up. Now, once you guys take out one of these enemies, it's the servitor. It's going to drop this charge. In order to activate it, though, what you have to do now is also go and activate this green wall. So you know you get this effect to now alter the maps. So you're going to come over here to this vine, we'll just call it that. I'm going to grab the vine, and what that will do is now make it so you can alter the map. You're going to have to do this a few different times for this puzzle, but you're going to start over here at this back wall. Use the vine on that back wall, and it should give you guys a platform now to stand on. You can bring the charge over, and you're going to actually deposit it over there. Now, that's just the first step. You're going to have to do this a few more times. At this point now, you can come up here to the roof, take out any additional enemies that may be in your way as well, because they do get quite annoying. But if you drop down here through the roof, you will now see the cannon, which you guys already know can be used to teleport around. So as you can see, this is where we're going to end up firing it, but you do, as always, have to rotate one of the satellites. Very quickly, though, after picking up the cannon, there was an entire new wave of enemies that spawned in, so I went ahead and took them out very quickly, but I skipped past it, so you guys didn't have to waste your time with it. Now, if you come over here, you should have to rotate the satellite and fire your rocket onto this charge. Once doing this though, there's going to be another jumping puzzle where you have to use the spark to get through. However, before doing this, you will also need to do one more step. So as you can see there, now the portal has been activated. However, before going through, you may want to grab the green strand or the vine one more time because you will have to use it on this platform. Now, I had already activated it, but I guess it only lasts about 30 seconds or so. So you will have to do that step again, even if you've done it once. As you can see here, if you don't activate these platforms, you'll end up just completely falling through. So you have to go over to the vine again and launch it at this wall because it only lasts so long. Then repeat the steps, go back into the spark, and you can also disable these lasers here. If you didn't realize, you can just disable the lasers very quickly and come back through. Activate the vine and then roll all the way through now. You're going to deactivate the spark, charge up this pylon, and then just in case if you need to, you can reset the floor with the vine and roll on back through. Now, once you get back, there's going to be a ton more enemies to take out, so go ahead and take them out, and we'll move on to the next portion of the mission.
Power source available on the grid. I'm hoping it'll be hatched or so involved they overtake your life. I hope I'm feeling that dread Ikora was talking about. Let's get out of here. Fast. What about the Guardian farm? They've changed the fate of the universe. They chose to be here.
Each choice, right, trial. Was it destruction? Spiderweb against Gucci. May as well just slap.
Now, this final boss, you would think would just be an average boss fight after how much we've been through. However, it is going to be pretty intense, and there's going to be some more puzzles included in here as well. So I'm going to show you guys the full gameplay of me taking out this boss. It actually took me probably like 30-45 minutes to take out just the boss alone. Probably just a little burnt out after playing all day, but also just a pretty tough mission if playing solo due to all of these shanks. So definitely don't ignore the ads for this. That was my biggest mistake, was just thinking that I could get away with leaving ads around and trying to beat the mission. And unfortunately, you just can't. So you have to take out every single ad and really just do it step by step if you're playing on Legendary Solo in order to get this one done. So I'll let the gameplay play out. There's a few weird steps you have to go through in order to complete this game or this boss, but I don't think it'll be too tough once you understand it. There's two different phases. After you get through the first phase, it's just the same as the others. You're going to kill the servitor in the back. He's going to drop an arc charge. But in order to actually dunk this charge, what you have to do is first grab the vine. So I'll show you guys the locations of the vines and the locations of where to dunk. And that's just about it for the mission, other than watching out for all of the crazy ads. So hopefully this has helped you guys out, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.